That's my finger. Alrighty. I think we're live. It is Monday. And yeah, time for WriterSanctuary's After Hours. Today we're going to be looking at some goals that I'll be setting for 2026 because throughout November, December, I like to plan out my next year and come up with a strategy to help me get those goals. Sometimes that's jockeying around my schedule a little bit to see if I can actually do them, or playing around with time a little bit. So today we'll talk about a little bit about next year's goals. As for this year's goals, I could still maybe do one of them. Actually, I did do at least 3 events. That's what I wanted to do at the very beginning of the year. So yeah, we're gonna be playing around with that. So good times. Yes, and I'm here with Shadow, like always. Staring at me. Okay, so we're gonna give this a few minutes before we jump right in. Now I've got 5 tentative goals, or ideas anyway. But we're going to play around with some things and see if we can come up with some good plans. Like one that is kind of, well, it's related, but I don't know if I want to have time for it. I would love to build a replacement for the NaNoWriMo project. I was playing around with Noveler recently and how they have their dashboard set up. And I did a review on the writing app, which comes out on Friday. Or was it Friday? I think it's Friday. And I'll be making a video about it. But I kind of liked how they had their layout going. I remembered how NaNoWriMo had theirs planned out. So I would like to do a NaNoWriMo replacement without the controversies. So that's an example of stuff that is just kind of out there in the air. Doing that would require quite a bit of an investment of time and money, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot of either. So yeah, we're gonna hang off for a second and give everybody a chance to join us. My phone didn't chime when I went live. It did last week, but not this week. So I don't know why YouTube chooses to pick and choose what notifications I get. You know, instead of fixing the crap that's broke, they give us more tools that can break. It's like, how about you just fix the broken shit and let's move on? But it's YouTube, so that's fine. Anyway, you are getting hair all over me, Shadow. Oh my god. Stuck in my nose. Yes. Yeah. You need to be brushed again. Anyway. Yes, we're gonna give this a couple minutes and we'll jump right in with my first one, which is a goal that I'm still kind of on the fence about trying. Not that I don't think I can do it, but more of the time it's going to take, because it's going to require probably 4 hours a day, depending on what's going on. So, yay. Anywho, yeah, you're right. My cat looks like she has mange. Well, she did before I pet her. Stop. No, you don't want that. I promise. Yeah, it's peanut butter. Peanut butter whiskey. I'm pretty sure you're not going to want that. Oh, now she sees herself in the other monitor. There's another cat there. Goofy. You're goofy. Uh-oh, here comes Max. Yay, I want to have a cat fight in my lap. Woohoo! Alright. Anyway, I guess we can just jump right in. It's already 7:04, so. Alright, so, as I said at the very beginning, I tend to think about my goals for the next year throughout November, and then try to schedule my time in order to meet some of those goals. And I don't know, I did fairly well this year so far. There's still 2 months to go, and I still can meet some of my goals. But so I start planning out what I would like to do for 2000 or for 2026, so I can hit the ground running on January 1st. And in this case, one of my goals was to write 800,000 words in books, which is only 2,200 words a day, I think. And that is like no problem. I have so many ideas rolling around in my head that I could easily write almost 1,000,000 words in just books alone. But if I remember right, yeah, 800,000 words is only 2,192 words a day. That for me is, I can do that throughout the span of a writing sprint. In fact, I was averaging 2,200 words a day when I wrote Shadows of Atlantic City. Now, here's the caveat, though. I can only, if I write that, that doesn't include the time it's going to take to edit this shit. So, yeah, I can write 2,200 words a day, but when it comes time to actually editing and fine tuning and all that other stuff, I don't get as many words written as I do with the first draft. So that means I'm going to have to schedule another chunk of time on top of the writing time to edit the books periodically throughout the year. And that's where I run into lack of time. So I know I could do 800,000 words in a day, or not day, in a year, but the time it's going to take to edit that and right on top of that, I just don't have an extra 4 hours of chunk of time periodically throughout the week, mostly because I just started school. So I don't know. Hello, Jennifer. I was thinking about changing that though. Instead of focusing on 800,000 words written, what if I calculate how much time, set a goal for time spent working on my books throughout the year? So, for example, instead of 800,000 words a year, what if I did an average of what would be 2 hours a day writing? So, let's see. I'm not even going to tell you what I did. What if I set it for 730 hours of time spent working on my books throughout the entire year? It's actually not very long, very much. That's only 2 hours a day. Depending on the day, I could probably spend more than that. But if I could spend more than that, then I could probably do 800,000 words. So you see, I'm in a bit of a predicament which kind of goal I want to set. I have no doubt I can write that much, but I don't know. Should I aim for 730 hours? That's 2 hours a day for the whole year. That would give me a lot more time than I have been getting. Because I'm a dork and I have everything recorded in a spreadsheet. Let's see. That's words. What about time? I think that's time. I broke everything out in minutes, or I've broken everything out in how many words I've written and how much money I've made, but on how much time I spend on each project. So I would have to go through. I have it all recorded. I just don't have a cool little pie chart for it because I'm a dork. I like spreadsheets. Sue me. I think this one here is minutes. What's H15? Let's go all the way back to the top. H15 would have been, there it is. Yeah, time. Okay. So I can do that. All right. I just haven't broken it down. So, wow, I can already tell that I didn't really spend a lot of time working on my books this year. So, 730 hours might be a realistic goal. That'll give me far more time than I spent on them for books before. Maybe we'll keep track of that. What do you think? 730 hours? That's a lot of minutes. I think I do more than that though. Maybe we should make it around 750. It's only an extra 20 hours. That's half a week. Half a work week anyway. Or maybe I can do this real quick. Let's do an average. So I'm going to go average of all this here, which is that one. That's per week. Or you know what I should do is the total. Sum of this year. Unfortunately, this is also going to be estimating for the next 2 months, so equals that divided by 60. That's how many hours equals that. Wow. Okay, so that's horrible. This whole year alone, not including going out and doing the book events that I do, the signings and stuff. This is just working on the book, which is writing and editing and working on the cover. And I've only spent, I'm averaging 185 hours this year total. So 730 would be well beyond that number. But that would also get me closer to where I want to be if I did that. So I don't know, maybe that's a good one. 730 minutes or hours. Averaging 2 hours a day. Yeah. Actually, if I just did 200 hours, I'd still surpass what I did this year. I can always geek out a little bit more and go back to the other spreadsheets because I keep copies of all my spreadsheets. So I can go back different years. Let's see which one was the most productive. And then do that times 3. Trick is not to set yourself up for failure. I mean, you want a goal that'll challenge you to do better, but you don't want to set a goal that is so high that you can't accomplish it. But you don't want to set a goal that's too low that is just mind-numbingly easy. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make a note. We're doing. Oh, just using one. We're gonna go with time. I think that's a better use or a better goal. Time spent on books. This is going to include all the books that I publish on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And it'll also include the time I spent writing the stuff on Wattpad and Inkitt and any of the contests that I plan on entering next year. So this is all writing time. So, considering that, 730 hours isn't really out of the realm of possibility, I think. So I'm gonna write that down too. 730 hours question mark. What do you think? That too much? Too little? It's a lot more than I did now. Even if, like, I've worked on the book, I think an hour, a little over an hour today during the writing sprint. Yeah, an hour exactly. If I keep that average up, then it's only 180. But what if I did 2 hours? Be 228. So even if I did 2 hours a day, it's still 228. So that's kind of disappointing that I didn't write more. That's right. We got this. So yeah, I think 730 is a good round number for hours time spent. Okay, well, I feel like I'm talking to myself because I am. What else can I do? I would like to attend 5 book events. My goal this year is to do 3 book events, and technically I did 4. I did 3 signings, and I'm probably going to do one at the end of the month. And then I did the world building panel at the very beginning of the year. So technically I did 4. I'm probably going to do 5, depending on if they figure things out. So I would like to focus on 5 events next year. That's what I have time for. Might have the time for it to do more, but I need to find them first. Oh, look, my cat transformed. Now I have Max. You don't want that either. So, 5 events, I think, would be a good wholesome number. I know people that do one almost every weekend, so I just don't know if I have the time to do all that. Keep in mind that I'm trying to balance the blog, trying to balance the YouTube channel, go to school, do my client work. My day is pretty full. So, aiming for 5 might be realistic. Well, at least here in the Denver metro, anyway. Oh, what's another good goal for 2026? I would like to set up some writing challenges for YouTube subscribers. That's been something I've been toying with for the last couple of months. My issue is trying to figure out how to get everything all planned and organized. Oh my God, everybody is shedding. Can't breathe. Oh, everybody needs brushed. Anyway, yeah, but I would love to set up some writing challenges. I have quite a few planned for myself for next year. Like one of the things I wanted to do after I publish Shadows of Atlantic City and Fury was do the challenge of buying a pre-made book cover and then writing a book specifically on the design, using the design to inspire the entire book. That's something I want to do, but it's going to cost like $200 to buy some of the designs I would really like to do. I think it'd be fun. I'd have a book cover off the bat, so that's not a problem. Yeah, I think that'd be a fun challenge for myself. I don't know if anybody else has like $200 to shell out for a book cover, but yeah, that would be. Or we can have people join along and get a book cover template off of Canva and do the same thing. Just grab whatever's there and then write a story based on just the cover. Of course, then you have to worry about plagiarism or copyright or whatever. So, probably not, but that would be super fun. I think it would be. I would really like to do that, but I don't want to take on another project. I want to finish Shadows, Fury, and then do the book cover thing. But there's all kinds of different writing challenges you can do for YouTube. I'm trying to think of a way if there's any of sharing each other's or sharing the URL to like a Wattpad or an Inkitt account, and then kind of promoting everybody as writers. Problem with that is if I open up links on like the community tab, then I'm gonna get spammed. So I can't do that. I have seen people use like Google Sheets as a way for people to share stuff. So that might be something we can look into because I think it'd be fun to get more of us to do some writing challenges, like a 3,000 word. This week, let's do a 3,000 words short story sci-fi. Stuff like that. Of course, I have to still trying to figure out how the logistics of it because I don't want to get spammed by links and whatnot. So we got to be pretty vigilant on that aspect. But it'd be fun, I think. I would enjoy it. Anything writing makes me happy. One thing I am planning on doing in 2026 is continue to work on my time management. So far I'm doing better than I did last year, but not by very much. I could do way better. So recently I caught myself doom scrolling for too much time throughout the week. It's funny because like Threads used to be my whole haven for authors. I just hang out with authors and writers, and now it's half flooded with political crap, and it's disappointing. It gets depressing, and I miss my author friends. So I don't know how to fix that, but just block all the political posts. That'd be a lot of effort. But I did wind up chewing up a good chunk of time recently on doom scrolling, and I came up with the idea of leaving my phone on my desk. If I'm not outside using my phone to play music while I'm walking, then my phone sits at my desk. I do not take it with me. So that curtailed the doom scrolling exponentially. I didn't waste nearly as much time the last couple of days as I had been. So little tricks like that is what I'm going to focus on for 2026 in time management, because I suck. So, like, I have a spreadsheet, so I know exactly how much time I waste, because I put in when I start and when I stop, just like a normal timesheet. And I keep track of all of it, so I know exactly how many minutes I blow by spending too much time outside, doom scrolling on threads. So I'll put an end to that shit. And I feel a lot better too. Like, I was really stressing out there for a while, and then as soon as I stopped doing that, I'm like, you know what? The cards fall where they may, and I'm not nearly as keyed up. So here's to telling Facebook to go fuck itself. I guess that'd be meta, because they control Threads, Facebook, and Instagram. I think Instagram's the only thing I have now that doesn't show political badness. It's just, I think it shows me the like 7 or 8 people I follow. So, but I'm never on Instagram. Well, I'm rarely on Instagram. I used to be on Threads quite a bit, and then the whole doom scrolling thing kicked in, and I found that it's not worth it. So, Maggie says, sorry, I was shutting the chickens in, and there was a freaking bobcat in the barn. Oh, that's not good. What you need to do is get yourself a banana bread dog. I wish I could show you what my cat looks like. Looks like somebody shot her. She's dead on the floor. What the hell are you doing? Whatever. Yeah, I think I need a drink now. I chase it out with a shovel. Well, yep, that's the fun of living in the mountains in Colorado. I've got a pet bobcat. That's pretty cool. When I was at Job Corps back in 1993, they caught a bobcat a few years prior, and they brought him back up. They kind of domesticated him. Most cuddly freaking animal, but you couldn't touch his face. Got anywhere near his head, and he would like open his mouth and kind of give you a warning nip. He wouldn't bite, but more of telling you, "Don't touch that." So, but yeah, he was a big pussycat. Fuck, was a monster. Yeah, that's if I lived up there with the and had wild animals coming on the property, I'd definitely have to get a couple of big dogs. I used to have big dogs, Bandit and Pandora, 180 pounds of fur and teeth, and I had no problem not locking my door. And somebody coming into the house, it's their ass. So good luck. Had a black lab and a Rhodesian Ridgeback. Yeah, that's good times. So your goal for 2026 is to not let the bobcats into your barn. But oh, you have to worry about the chickens too. I was just coming up with ideas on how to get a bobcat out, electrify the fence. My dog would probably just run up to it, lick on it, or Bandit pissed on a open wire once. That was funny as hell. He never did it again. Anyway, I'm hoping your chickens are okay. I have Agent Mayhem, who is 168 last time on the scale. He is a mastiff Roddy Dane. Well, how come Mayhem didn't get the bobcat? Love mastiffs. I lived with a couple that had Rottweilers. They were fun. Brutus and Brandy, big dogs. Yeah, I would love a mastiff. That's what I was supposed to have, but instead she turned into a Ridgeback because no one could tell the difference between Ridgeback and a mastiff. Apparently, that's right. I love Pandora. She was an expensive dog. So I want one. I want one too. He was in the house where it was warm. It's like, I ain't going out there. It's cold. Let that dog out and hit that bobcat like a freight train. Oh, inhaled. Hold on. I've seen some bobcats whoop on some dogs, so and we are lucky because he doesn't drool like a massive. I don't know. I don't know about drooling. I have been around St. Bernards, and my God, that is a lot. Banana bread's just gassy. And she'll clear out a room. And she's also a miniature, pint-sized English bulldog. Like you see all these pictures of these big dogs and bulldogs. No, Banana bread's barely bigger than my cat. She's a runt. She's a lot of fun though. Let's see. Drinking is fun when you remember how. Right? Oh, yep. And you can't inhale it like you can water. Here, had to wash it down. I will not sick him on a bobcat or badger because those will get a dog. Yeah, I've seen bobcats whoop on some dogs. Nope, that's when you sick your 12 gauge on a bobcat. Kaboom. I'd load it with salt, though. I don't want to kill a bobcat. I just want to give him second thoughts of coming into the property. Anywho, what was I? I was talking about continued work on time management, and not doom scrolling. That freed up a lot of time. Yeah, I still got a long ways to go. I'm not perfect at it, but that was this year was supposed to be my year of time, and I did do better so far this year than I did last year, which isn't saying much because I really sucked last year. But I got quite a bit out of this year. I've done a couple of fun things. I've done the book events. Hopefully, I'll publish Shadows at Night City relatively soon. Oh, Jesus! So, I found that a sentence was missing half the words, and thought I'm gonna have to reread this entire thing to make sure there's nothing else wrong. Chapter 2. There was a word that had a slash and a percent sign in it. So, yep, I'm gonna have to reread the entire thing, which is fine because I love my book, but I really wanted to get it published. So now I have to go through. I don't have no idea what caused it. I don't know if it was from transferring from AutoCrit over, or if one of the beta readers did something, or maybe I did something when I copied it over. But I'm gonna have to reread it before I can export it. I mean, I don't want to put a book out there that has full of weird ass problems in the sentences. So good times. It's just gonna take a little bit longer to publish. That's all. Let's see. I'm going to use December as my acorn month for planning 2026. I have a few books in the queue. Nice. I've got a whole bunch in the queue. I've got so my goal for this year was to publish Shadows and finish the first draft of Fury and finish 7 that's on Wattpad. Both Fury and 7 are just about done. It would probably take me 2 weeks to finish Fury and maybe a week to finish 7. So all 3 of those can still technically be done this year. I would have liked them done at the very beginning of the year, but here we are. So I still think I could probably accomplish that. So your narcoleptic beta readers strike again. Yeah, stop reading them when you're half asleep. Let's see, I listened to a book in a very different voice one last time because I always find weird stuff that way. Oh, you use the speak to text stuff or text to speak. Jennifer uses that. I actually, depending on the book, like with it, with the especially with the despair, because I read out despair on YouTube. I would love to finish that book. Um, but I'll read it out loud, kind of whispering to myself as I'm reading it, like I did today on the writing sprint. Um, you catch so much more if you when you read out loud. It's like, oh, hold up, that didn't make sense, and not just grammatical errors either. I'm talking about the way a sentence flows. Like when I'm reading Despair for the audiobook, um, there'll be things I find in the final draft that I missed and my editors missed. So, reading out loud is definitely a bonus, especially if you throw in some voices, do some voice acting, like having Robert Stack read the book for you. To be honest, my backlog of words written is keeping me going because I am not writing nearly enough. Oh, yeah, I'm not writing nearly enough. And I've got a ton of stories I would love to put. Like, I have ideas for Fallout fan fiction for Wattpad. I would love to finish Skeletal. That's on Inkitt. I've got 3 more ideas for supernatural stuff. I got 2 ideas for sci-fi. I would love to turn Shadows into more of a series. So I've got like 7 books planned for it. The Witcham Chronicles are going to be 4 books, possibly 5. So I don't have a shortage of ideas. I have a shortage of time. Reading out loud is an early step in my editing process. Like listening to it happens twice in my 15 steps. Yeah, I agree. I don't do it twice, but reading out loud is a whole nother ball game. So you can find all kinds of issues. That's like one of the biggest things I'd perhaps one of the one of my biggest tips, I guess, would be to read out the manuscript out loud. Also, to read out your dialogue, because if you cringe from your dialogue, you need to rewrite it. So it helps you from writing cringy, obscene, or obscure crap in your dialogue that doesn't make sense. So yeah, I read the dialogue every time out loud. As a way to ensure that that's realistically what that character would say and if it makes sense in the sentence, because you don't want to just I've read some dialogue that just felt fake, and so reading out loud helps you get past that, because then you start hearing it and thinking about it in the context of, I think of it as a context as a movie script, and there are some cringy dialogue scripts out there. Suicide Squad. Yeah, anyway, coffee, create, and connect. Good evening, all. How's everyone doing today? We're doing good. I'm just going over some of the goals that I'm planning on doing for 2026 because I like to plan my stuff 2 months in advance. So this will give me time to really think about the goal and whether it's going to be realistic according to the time that I have. So, and keep in mind that next year, it's going to be fully under the umbrella of going to college. Right now, I'm only part-time student. I would love to be full-time, but until I can get rid of my freelance writing clients and bring in enough money to do that, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go full-time yet. So I'll get my degree in 2036. Probably sooner, but realistically, it's not going to be any time in the near future. So that's why I try to come up with goals and stuff now so that I can plan for them, so that when January 1st comes around, I hit run. So let's see. And definitely I pick up on things when I read out loud that I don't if I'm just reading silently. Yeah. I think a lot of people do. I've found that most of the authors I've talked to in an interview so far, a lot of them will read it out loud. But yeah, I think of things cinematically. So if it doesn't look good, if I can't see it as part of a movie scene, it gets rewritten. I've had to redo dialogue. Well, Kingmaker, I had to redo an entire character throughout the entire book because somebody said he sucked. Well, he was a whiny bitch, I think is what her words were. So I had to change the entire character's flow throughout Kingmaker, which turned out to be a better book, but yeah. I don't know why I was so the character was so depressive at first. I don't know why. Um, but I think he turned into a much better character after that. Um, and the characters that are in Fury, it's Kingmaker's sequel, as there's a whole lot more fun to it. So Sam says, "Yes, whiny bitch" is a direct quote. Yeah, here's a whiny little bitch. Three Eye Atlas made me want to write Weavers, Sci-Fi, McCaffrey's Primes, X-Men Legacy, and Memories of the Sky People. Indigenous sci-fi. Yeah, Three Eye Atlas. It's a rock. I know everybody wants it to be an alien spacecraft, but I don't know. If it is, it's just going to bypass us. Why the hell would aliens want to stop here? That's so. Don't get too excited about it. But it does open some imagination for some cool shit, though. That's one of the reasons why, as I'm working towards my bachelor's in creative writing, I plan on taking all of the anthropology classes because I can only imagine the stories that are going to come from it. Some of the classes are just amazing. I'm excited. I've always been a big fan of Indiana Jones anyway. So, yeah, being an archaeologist, author, might be fun. But yeah, there's all kinds of ideas rolling around in my head based on ancient mysteries. Love ancient mysteries because the further back you go, the more off the wall you can make it, and nobody can say anything about it. Prove me wrong. So yeah, truth. Lol. Earth is a neighborhood that you want to keep the windows rolled up and doors locked as you drive through. I say that a lot, actually. We are, yeah, we're the Detroit of the galaxy. Nobody wants to stop and have short directions. I wouldn't. If you're an interstellar being, would you be interested in this planet? The fuck for? Yep. It's okay, honey. I got a map. Yeah. Or the trailer park of the galaxy. A bunch of. Anyway, I can get really bad with it. No, we'll be good. I'm biting my tongue. Okay. Anyway, continue to work on time management. So yeah, that's going to be my goal. I'm going to try to do more hours next year than I did this year. That was my ultimate goal for this year, which I surpassed. I think even if I stopped doing anything for the rest of the year, I still did more than I did last year, which is sad. Last year really sucked. Like my best year on record is 2021. I did so much that year. That was the year I published Kingmaker. I mean, I was doing great. I think it's also the year that I did the 90 blog posts in 30 days. That was because I wrote 3 blog posts a day. Yeah. On 3 different websites. And so that was a record breaker for me. I haven't even come close to that. But yeah. So far, I'm still a little bit shy from 2021, but I did a hell of a lot more than I did in 2024 and slightly better than 2023. So, well, that's a win so far. So, yeah, that's always a goal. Always work on surpassing my bests. And then something else I wanted to debate on, I kind of touched base a bit of it, was full-time schooling. I need more money for that, though, because not necessarily to pay for school, but to pay me to go to school. So, like right now, I can't do full time because I have so much going on. If I can get rid of freelancing and just focus on school, that would be great. But that means I would need to make, I don't make a lot of money, but I at least need to pay my mortgage and shit. So, right now, I think this year I'm going to finish with just under 50,000 a year. Yeah, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things. So I don't know how much money I'll make next year, but it's not enough. So it's all good. Let's see. I have used August and October to try to get back into a routine of writing, but then I caught COVID for the last 2 weeks. Oh, shitty. Oh, yeah. You mentioned that before. I was doing great until June, and then I crashed and burned. Time versus income is a struggle. Yep. Yes, it is. One of my favorite sayings is from Star Trek. The first movie, Generations. Soren. Time is the fire in which we burn. 50,000 in Colorado is not enough. No, it's not. I mean, I'm able to pay the mortgage and all my credit cards and have a little bit of extra on top of that. But not much outside of that. So trying to go full time would just bend me over table at this point. So, I need to come up with a bit more than 50K a day. Need to come up with a little bit more than 50K a year. I think 50K a year in Colorado is like below poverty. It's sad because like back in the 80s, 50,000 a year was amazing. Not so much 30 years later. 40 years later. Jesus, I'm old. Yeah, dude. That's part of why I'm trying to build up the WriterSanctuary. Trying to do more with the blog, with the YouTube channel. We're looking at different types of income because if I can get a job at the school doing, well, I'm a writer, so anything writing at the school would just be awesome. So, yeah, that's what we're keeping an eye out for. Yeah, 40 years. I know. Shh, quiet. I'm not that old. I'm not old. You're old. God, and people are showing up all these things on social media. I'm this old, and they show like them loading up Windows XP. Like I think it's fuck you. I remember Windows when it was in DOS. All right, you can go fuck yourself. New statistics show that you need 90,000 to break even in Denver for a one-person household. I'm still able to do it, but I also don't have a car payment. I don't have insurance until we start paying for the Toyota. So there's a lot of things I don't have that the average household does. So that would make a big difference. But like, I don't have insurance, so that's okay because I make way below the poverty level to need insurance anyway. So it's difficult. There's no doubt, but I'm still able to keep everything balanced, and I would like to be able to keep it even more balanced. So I don't know. Maybe that's what. Maybe 2026 will be the year of the sales, year of marketing. There we go. I haven't sold a single copy of Kingmaker on Amazon in over 10 months. Now ask me how often I market it online. That would be a big fat zero. Well, aside from a few posts here and there on social media. Social media is not the place for marketing books. I don't care what people say. Unless you have 5,000 followers already, you're not going to make a lot of money on social media because social media tends to bury external links so that it stops people from leaving their app. And almost every one of them do it. So try to promote your book on social media just using nothing but links and posts. Not going to work very well. So that's all I've done. I haven't really put much time or money into ads or anything for Kingmaker. I would like to change that with Shadows, especially since Shadows is a much better written book anyway. It was the book I wrote during the Readsy Masterclass for how to write a novel, and it's a better book all around. So I would love to dump some money into marketing that. Still, yeah, I would have to sell. I did the math once. I would have to sell like 40 something books a day. That's an awful lot of books. So it was 46. Was it 46 or 47? I thought it was in the 40s. I know how many books I'd have to sell to buy my $3 million house. I have to sell over 1 million copies. But yeah, to replace a full-time income, I think it was, what was it? To replace my income. Divided by, I think I make like $2.95 per copy because I don't charge a lot for my books. Oh, Jesus. 14,237 books throughout the year, divided by 365 days. Bam. 39 bucks a year, 39 bucks a day. And that's just for the paperback. So 39 bucks a day, 40 bucks a day would be, that's still quite a few. So anyway, so maybe that's why I was toying with the idea of 2026 being the year of marketing. Learning how to do it all, or even pay somebody to do it for me. I don't care. And SM, so much is about the algorithm that they push posts that they can put ads around. Yep. Gotta have that viral content. That's one of the things I was toying with, is building a social media app for writers and readers that doesn't do any of that junk and doesn't bury external links if you're promoting your book. But again, that would take money and effort, time. And time is something I don't have a lot of. They say time is the fire on which we burn. This year will be the first year I make more through KU than selling ebooks and print copies. Awesome. I don't want to do Kindle Unlimited because I don't want to be locked into Kindle or Amazon. I would rather sell wide. Now that my Barnes & Noble account is fixed, I can start uploading to there. And yeah, once you're locked into KU, you can't sell to like bookstores and anywhere other than Amazon. And so I don't like that. So it's going wide because the Overload A does not like to share with other retailers. Yeah. That's the truth. I mean, you can until you get caught. So, but yeah, if you read the fine print on KU and Kindle Unlimited, you become exclusive to Amazon. So I would rather not do that. I might do one book that is KU only because I want to write a review on it, and I would love to write about the process of Kindle Unlimited for people that don't know. So I might do one next year just for that purpose. All my books are going to be wide except for that one. So I did want to try out Kindle Vella, which looked like a kind of a decent system, but as I was getting ready to try it out, they closed it down. So it feels like sometimes I'm always on the ass end of a trend. It's because I don't have the money or time to join it when it happens. And by the time I do, it's over. Always late to the party. That's right. Anyway, so what else we got going on? What's everybody else's goals for 2026 they're toying with? You don't have to have it set in stone right now, just things that you're thinking about. Like I gave all the ones I'm thinking about. Doesn't mean I'm going to do any of these. It just means that these are ones that are weighing on my conscience, and things I might want to try planning for. I really like the idea of aiming for 730 hours spent throughout 2026, which is far more time than I've ever given any book project throughout the year. So that would be one hell of an accomplishment for me. So with the 800,000 words written in books, now if I can figure out how to finagle that where I can also do the editing for that while writing afterward, I mean, that'd be awesome. I would love to slam out 800,000 words. I just don't know if there's any viable way I could do that while editing at the same time. So, Bella started out okay, but the advertising was on the authors, and the links were impossible to find. Also, the buying tokens got annoying. Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was kind of a cool idea where I can just sell tokens to unlock the episodes, and so you can read as you go. It was kind of a cool idea, but I can see how people could hate it. But I was really interested in giving it a shot, but you know, late to the party, so I didn't get to do it. Doing the editing and publishing is why I have nearly stopped writing. Yeah. Well, that's why I can do 800,000 words, no problem. But then I also have to schedule time after that. Because the idea would be to write the first draft and then give it to the beta readers, give their input. And then while they're reading it, give myself 4 to 6 weeks away from that book before I go back to edit. And during that 4 to 6 weeks, I would write yet another book because I can do that. I can write all day, all day, all night. So I can no doubt hit 800,000 words. But then by the time they give me that feedback, then I would have to edit that book while writing the 2,200 words for the new book. So that's where it gets a little bit difficult. Now, I could probably do it if I got rid of the blog and the YouTube channel. But as it stands, school takes up a big chunk of time. So I don't know if I can do a word count goal per se. I can do the time spent though. And judging by my performance this year, that'll be an easy record to break. So that's why I wrote it down. I'm like, yeah, I could probably do that. Maybe okay, I want to make a note. Look at 2021. Because that's when I had my best time. Okay. Let's see. Down to writing 1 book a year from writing 2 books a quarter. Yeah. The editing process can be time consuming. Like I tried telling Diana when she was on, you can easily chew up twice as much time editing the book than you do writing the book. Especially if you write like I do, which is I write light. I just might get the story out, and then during the editing process, I add far more detail, polish up the language, do the tweaks here and there. So I do spend about twice as much time editing as I do writing. And yeah, so I'm with you. I can feel it can be a time suck, especially if you don't have the money to hire an editor. Like some editors went up to like $10,000. I'm like, I don't have that. Sorry, I'm broke, folk. We already established that I'm below the poverty level, so I don't have the extra money to throw at you. So yeah, I understand completely how editing can really put a stranglehold on the process, but I still think we can do it. I think the record for published books is like 23, and I can't remember her name offhand, but she published 23 books in a year. That was before all the self-publishing and AI crap. So, but yeah, I could easily do that. I think I don't have $10, let alone 1,000, right? It's like I could barely put gas in my car. I don't have money for editing or marketing or public relations or there's like 5 or 6 different forms of editing. I don't have money for that. I just want to make sure my book reads all right. So I do what I can. I do want to save up the $200 or so to buy a pre-made book cover, and then write a book based on purely the book cover. So, yeah. That's going to be a fun challenge for next year. Hey, Neo's here, creeping in to sit in the back of the class, hoping the teacher doesn't notice I'm late. Yeah, late is an understatement. You almost missed it completely. Yeah, we're just you missed out all the cool talk about what goals we got planned. I'm still thinking time is going to be the more time is going to be the easier one. I think. Well, not easier, the more realistic one because my life is too chaotic. I'm going to school. I don't know if I can write and edit throughout the day to do 800,000 words. I would love to. Um, if I could free up an extra 2 hours a day, yeah, I could do it. But until that happens, not going to happen. Let's see, Kitty. All hell the feline overlords. You'll be going to bed soon? Yeah, we're going to be wrapping this up in about 5 minutes. Oh, Shadow. This is Shadow's show. It started and ended with Shadow. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows. Anyway, so yeah, those are some of the challenges. So some of the goals I've been thinking about. That's the time spent doing 5 book events. I think that's going to be a good one. I'm going to do that one no matter what. I think that's going to be on my base. Minimum of 5 events. I would like to add writing challenges for YouTube subscribers. I think that'll be a lot of fun. We still have to figure out the logistics of it, though. I'm still thinking I could probably do it with a Google spreadsheet, open it up to the public, and just cross my fingers that we don't get spammed to hell and gone by broken links and hacks and whatnot. But it is through Google, so we never know. I don't know. Maybe the writers, the people subscribe to the channel, will be responsible. For the most part, I think you guys are. So let's see. I'll watch the replay. I had a lot of catch up on. Ended up staying up for 24 hours. Holy crap! Get some sleep, Neil. We love our cats. I look forward to book events. Yes, I love my cats too. My Shadow. But yeah, I would love doing them. I love showing them on live stream. I think I would love to do more of those. So you should join us you should join us for all the words in April and August. I'm not sure what that is. I thought I saw you post something about it before, but I'm not sure. So, but yeah, I'm a publicity whore. I will do anything you guys ask. So, but yeah, the writing challenges I think would be fun. I would love to promote you guys' Wattpads or Inkits or even books. So we'll figure that out. Continue to work on time management and trying to figure out how to go full time at school because I don't want to get my bachelor's in 2036. It means I'm going to get my PhD in my 90s. And yes, the PhD is still on the table because I would love to have one. I would love to teach at the college level. So that is still the tentative plan, man. I just woke up from a 4-hour nap. That's not necessarily a nap. Well, you got to take care of yourself, Neil. Okay, let's see. Last week's daily affirmation was, my perception of this life, of this world, is unlike anyone else's. It is within my unique vision that I find the strength, confidence, and creativity to tell my story. All right. What is this week's daily affirmation? We've got... Oh, you know what? We probably have enough for the rest of the year. Nice. All right. Well, this week's daily affirmation is a long one. Okay, here we go. I don't get to stand in the way of my own literary greatness today. Good start. I will first dump all of my unrelated thoughts on paper. Then I will get down to conveying to the world exactly what makes me magical. Not a bad one. Okay, one more time. I don't get to stand in the way of my own literary greatness today. I will first dump all of my unrelated thoughts on paper. Then I will get down to conveying to the world exactly what makes me magical. It's almost conceited. I know exactly what makes me magical. Anyway, all right, it is 8 o'clock. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see if I can come up with a better topic for next week. I've got a whole list of ideas. The reason why I picked this one is because I do literally start thinking about my goals for next year starting in November. And so I thought I'd throw some things out there and see what everybody else had any input. None of you did. So it's all good. Well, I can't say that. I got a few things, a few inputs, but not nearly the back and forth I was hoping for, but yeah, it is what it is. Thank you very much, Maggie. Be blessed. Have a lovely day. You too. Be careful of those bobcats eating your chickens. Neil says, I'm team Dr. Brockbank, PhD. Yep, that's where I'm going. That's my goal. I just hope I get there before I'm too old and senile to remember it. So, get my PhD the day I die. Alrighty, have a good one, everybody. I will be working on trying to get more authors on interviews. I've got a ton of emails to go through now that I'm getting back into the swing of things. So hopefully we can get some interviews going here soon. I will be doing Extra Life this weekend, which is gaming on Colorado Plays for 12 hours on Saturday and Sunday for I'll be playing for Children's Hospital here in Denver for if you want to donate a few bucks to that. It's going to be fun. That's on Colorado Plays' YouTube channel. We did amazingly well yesterday or last night playing Valheim. And that was just me and Annika. So that was kind of cool. So this weekend we'll be doing an Extra Life. So did I mention Shadows? Shadows should be done here relatively soon. I did have to reread. I'm going to have to reread the entire book because there are weird text discrepancies throughout the chapters. And so I have to make sure the book reads like it was intended, which means I have to reread the entire thing while making the adjustments. So it's going to take a little bit longer. It's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. It just means it's going to be that much better of a book. I've already added like quite a bit to it, like a few scenes here and there, and expanded some description and all that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. But Shadows will be done. I don't know when. I did 3 chapters today. It might take me 2 or 3 weeks to finish all the way. So maybe I'll make a goal for having a Thanksgiving publishing since we didn't make Halloween. Anyway, have a good one. I will be doing the writing sprint on Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and hit me up on social media-ish because I'm trying to avoid doom scrolling. So YouTube would be the best way to get a hold of me unless you use a contact form on WriterSanctuary.com's website. And if you're an author that has at least 1 book published or have been on the show already, make sure you go to WriterSanctuary.com and use the contact form for author interviews. I would love to get you on the show. Anywho, I want to wrap this up. Have a good one, and I will see you hopefully on Saturday on Colorado Plays' YouTube channel. I'm not sure what we're going to play, but hopefully we have the same outcome as we did last night. That was awesome. We had 43 viewers last night. We've never had that many. Pretty exciting. So have a good one.